get all this.
Well, this is my favorite question. What is your restaurant pet peeves? Because I have so many of them.
So cell phones at the table that people take calls, I'm like,
Oh, good one.
that's like are you fucking kidding me? Like I will be like, yo, get off, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'll stop talking. I will stop mid-conversation. If they even pick up their phone to like just check text and stuff, I'll just wait till they're done.
For
I
sure.
fucking hate it.
Well, I always have my phone in my pocket, and if it's out, I will say, I'm like, I apologize. Like my manager is calling me about a job tomorrow.
Right.
You know, I remember there's a very specific time that I did take a call outside, but it's a great regret in my life when I was on a date one time. And I really wish I had been like, the deal needed to be made that night. And it was like 8:30 because I was testing for the pilot the next day. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, but I should have been like, you know what? If they really want me, or if I, you know, then they should have, I could have taken better care of that dinner. Like in my head, I have that regret.
It's tough. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough one. I get it. What, did the date get torpedoed after that?
No, but I think it was like a general attitude that like I sort of, because we have like our careers are, anything could happen at any moment. Like my phone is out right now, but it's face down and I have not looked at it, not, you know, I have no idea if somebody's calling me or whatever. And I think we take these isolated moments, which I really appreciate stuff like this, you know, because I didn't even know when I obviously texted you earlier today, and I apologize for being late to this. I didn't realize how long I had been on the phone, because when I am somewhere with somebody, which is what I love about stand-up, I try to be as present as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And, you know, Sam, you know the comic Sam Morrill?
Yes.
Sam Morrill, yeah. He doesn't know me, but I'm a huge fan of his. He posted this thing on Instagram this morning or whenever it was, maybe yesterday, where he is doing stand-up and he goes, I'm out here risking my life, and yet this girl is still on her phone. And there was a girl in the front row at his show during the pandemic on her phone, and it's like, oh my God. And I was just like, dude, that is so funny.
That's awesome.
You know, and that's what I do love about stand-up is I really do want to give my best, because that's what I think that life is about, connecting and having those connections, and also being there for that other person, and for them to not feel like, oh, there's also like this thing over here that I might have to get at any moment. And I do think about, you know, the times in my life where, because I really am annoyed about that when in restaurants where people are sort of on their phones, or and sometimes that's the relationship that you have with people, right? Like you have friends that like you guys are just on your phones. But I think especially with a significant other, or like with my parents, I am very aware of not being on my phone or having it away unless I have, and it's so funny that must have, it stuck with me forever though, that I was at sushi and I was like, I have to go outside. And they were like, and I was on a call with 3 different agents, manager. And I was like, I got to take this and I felt awful. Yeah. I really did. I felt terrible. And I think, so that to me is like a pet peeve. And I also don't like, and I'll tell you this specifically, I don't like when people are rude to me and as a customer. And I'll give you an example. Freddie and I went to this place in Melbourne, and they, you know, I used to have long hair, and I have similar hair to you. It's like it's wild and unkempt, and I really liked it. And when I was on the show, Too Broke, I mean, I had it, and I could have cut it, but I didn't. I liked the way it looked. Right. And I had like a big bushy beard, and I was probably in t-shirt and khakis, and you know, Freddie is a guy with a huge orange beard and an outlandish sort of like Dr. Wiley, or the Dr. Robotnik from Mega Man, or from Sonic, you know, kind of mustache.
Yes.
And he, you know, and we looked like 2 dudes, and we went to this restaurant in Melbourne that was supposedly like their best restaurant, and we went for lunch. And Freddie and I are just talking, and they're like, do you want to sit here? And I'm like, yeah, and we're very casual about it. We're like, yeah, we'd love to, thank you. And we're probably hungover, and we're having a conversation. And we're like, oh, we'll take the chef's choice, the chef's menu, whatever they were calling it, the omakase, but it was not a Japanese restaurant. And and then this French guy who was their sommelier was like, such a dick about it because he just assumed that we were like poor, like homeless people.
Right.
Like that, what he put on us.
Yeah.
And they kept asking us, are you sure that's what you want?
Right.
And then he had the audacity to say, it's probably more expensive than you think it is. And or something in those lines. That he goes, it's very expensive. And Freddie and I kind of looked at each other and we were like, what is happening right now? And I looked at him and I looked at me and I go, oh, they think that we're vagabonds. Like, I go, okay. And I was like, I go, yeah, man, we'll take it. And we were not rude to him. We were not like, we didn't pull a Karen and be like, we'd like to speak to your manager.
Right.
We just like, yeah, man, we're good. And he came back the next time with the menu. And I think the guy was nervous the entire time that we were going to skip out on the bill.
Wow.
And I remember we saw the bill at the end and we put down a credit card and I was like, okay. And we left and we paid. And that stuck with me.
Talking about chicken a la king, mango and garbanzo tabbouleh, grilled potatoes and vegetables with roasted garlic and basil, zucchini ziti, granola fruit bar. Look at all this beautiful food.